Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever in the world you are as you're watching this. I hope that you have already seen the previous videos of this week, but if you haven't, please take the time to go back and look at those because each one has something special in them, and they all have been building up to where we're going to be today. We are in the book of Nehemiah, one of my favorite books in the Bible, and we are looking at today chapter 4. And in chapter 4, we see something that is remarkable. We see a call for unity. We see an example of working together that could be the pattern for the church, for Christians today. And if we would model ourselves after it, how much better things would be. So, what am I talking about? Well, if you look back at the story, you'll find out in the book of Nehemiah that the wall around Jerusalem, which meant so much, it was a status symbol, but it was also a practical thing for protection. And so Nehemiah had seen that the wall had been burnt, had been torn down, the gates had been burned, and all this needed to be rebuilt. But the people who were there that are not the Jews, Sanballat and Tobiah and others, are mocking them, saying this can't be done. And when they start seeing that things are being done, they start making threats and they start making the people afraid. And the problem is that those who are working on the wall are few. There's not a lot of people there, and the work is large. Now, you can make a direct application to the work of the gospel, to the work of the church. Uh, there is so much to do, and there's so few of us in comparison. There's never going to be enough people. There's never going to be enough help. There's never going to be enough energy. It's always going to be hard, especially when you never know where the enemy is going to attack. So, what happens is when we get out there, separated up into our own little cliques, then we don't care about what happens to somebody on one part of the wall way over there, as long as the enemy's not attacking us. And if the enemy attacks them on that part of the wall, okay, well, they're not bothering us, so it doesn't affect me. When in reality, we're all on the same wall, and the enemy, all he needs is to get in one place. You see? You understand what I'm trying to say here? And so often we're divided over the most petty things. When the work is so big, we need each other. And Nehemiah saw this. And when he heard that people were worried, everybody had a mind to work. But he says, be not afraid in verse 14 of chapter 4. Be not afraid of them. Remember the Lord, which is great and terrible, and fight for your brethren, your sons and your daughters, your wives and your houses. And then he says, it goes on down, they which builded on the wall, verse 17, and they that bear burdens with those that laid, every one with one of his hands wrought in the work. In other words, with one hand he worked, and the other hand he held a weapon. For the builders, every one had his sword girded by his side, and so builded. And he that sounded the trumpet was by me. Now, what's the deal with the trumpet? Well, we go into verse 19, and I said unto the nobles, and to the rulers, and to the rest of the people, the work is great and large, and we are separated upon the wall, one far from another. In what place therefore you hear the sound of the trumpet, resort ye thither unto us, our God shall fight for us. What was Nehemiah saying? He was saying, wherever you are on the wall, everyone else is going to have a trumpet. And when they blow a trumpet, that means they're under attack. We need to go and help them, and God will do the fighting for us. Folks, there's people all over the world, even down our own streets, that are blowing trumpets And so often we're so concerned with our own circle of influence, our own church congregation, our own ministry, our own lives, that we're not willing to go help somebody whose trumpet's blowing. But when we get upset and we need help, we blow the trumpet and we get mad when nobody helps us. I would encourage you, especially in this time right now that we're in, to know that there are people in this world, fellow believers in Jesus Christ, who are sounding the trumpet loudly, who need our help in any way that you can, by prayer or by giving to a ministry or even by physically going there and helping. When you hear the sound and you feel the call of God to do something, please be that one who responds, because the enemy, we don't need the enemy having victory somewhere else and thinking that it doesn't affect us, because again, we're on the same wall. What hurts a brother and sister somewhere else hurts another brother, sister over here, and it hurts us too. Listen for those trumpets, because we need to be united in the fight. God bless you. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in the next video here on Edify.